Hey there, pirates. Welcome aboard the Anime No Me channel. Luffy is about to reveal a level of HAKI that not even the Pirate King, Gold Roger, was able to fully master, and all signs point directly to the Elbaf arc, where our rubber captain will raise the voice of all things to an absurd new level of understanding and spiritual power. Today, you're going to discover this new power. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. Guys, just imagine Luffy not only hearing distant echoes like he did before, but truly understanding the language the entire world speaks, talking to ancient trees, feeling every soul in danger from miles away, and using all of that to turn the tide against forces that want to enslave entire minds. Let's rewind a bit to give some quick context. No stalling. Ever since Fishman Island, when Luffy heard the Sea Kings talking about Noah and the ancient promise, we already knew he carried this incredibly rare ability called the voice of all things. Then came Zoo, where he heard Zunesha's cry of pain and even asked the ancient elephant to deliver a decisive blow to Jack's fleet. In Wano, even in the middle of the chaos of his battle against Kaido, Luffy was sensing presences and intentions in a way that made it clear this wasn't just regular observation HAKI. Now, post-Egghead, with the crew heading toward Elbaf, the manga is dropping hints that this ability is maturing fast, and the environment of the Island of the Giants feels perfectly designed to make that potential explode. Elbaf isn't just any place. It's a land filled with Norse legends, warriors who live for centuries, massive trees that resemble the legendary Atom Tree, and countless connections to the Void Century and the original Joy Boy. It's the perfect setting for Luffy to go beyond simply picking up confusing noises like Roger did. The Pirate King felt things, followed instincts, heard the poneglyphs calling out, but often it was an intuitive, almost poetic sensation guiding him and his crew. Luffy, on the other hand, is showing signs that he can filter and interpret everything with surgical precision. He knows exactly who is suffering, who is standing with whom, and what is happening even without seeing the scene at all. This is observation HAKI taken to the extreme, fused with the voice of all things, turning into a perception that borders on the divine. Think back to when in Skypia, he used mantra combined with the Goro Goro no Mi to cover the entire island, listening to conversations, predicting attacks, and acting like a god. But that was limited to the range of his devil fruit and the island itself. Now imagine Luffy doing something similar, but without relying on electricity, using pure willpower and the lineage of D, amplified by the insane freedom of Gear 5. In Elbaf, surrounded by living forests, ancient mountains, and beings that carry memories of lost eras, he could turn the environment itself into an extension of his senses. The trees tell him what they have seen. The wind warns him about ambushes. The ground reveals hidden paths. This isn't brute strength. It's strategic intelligence elevated to another level. And the craziest part is how perfectly this sensory evolution matches Luffy's role as Nika, the warrior of liberation. The manga has already shown that there are dark forces at the top of the world Emu, and the Goroseihu have been manipulating, corrupting, and enslaving wills for centuries. Imagine discovering in Elbaf that some of the giants, or even a large portion of them, have suffered a similar influence. Some kind of control that turns proud warriors into demonic puppets, as if the world's chessboard had been completely turned black. That's where the perfect counter comes in. While the enemy uses a kind of reverse domination, perverting people's very essence, Luffy arrives as the absolute opposite. With Gear 5 activated, he not only perceives these trapped souls thanks to his refined voice, but also has the unique power to free them, restoring their original will and erasing corruption with that solar energy of freedom that only Nika carries. Picture the scene. A massive giant with empty eyes, attacking for no reason at all, completely dominated by an external force. Luffy feels that giant's true voice screaming deep down inside. He approaches, laughing like he always does, delivers an absurdly stretchy touch, and suddenly, the giant snaps back to normal, confused but free, ready to fight on the right side. That would be Luffy literally clearing the board, turning black pieces back to their original colors, showing that freedom isn't just about not having physical chains, it's about having a free mind and heart too. And all of this without losing One Piece's signature humor, because the process would be full of cartoony moments, with Luffy stretching his arms to reach distant consciousnesses, or turning the air into a trampoline to jump straight into the core of the corruption. This duality becomes even clearer when we remember that the ancient Joy Boy was probably fighting the same kind of oppression that exists today. He left promises behind, he left the straw hat, he left legacies that only someone with the same vibe could fulfill. Luffy, inheriting that spirit, isn't just getting physically stronger, he is gaining tools to undo evil on a global scale. The evolved voice of all things allows him to hear the suffering of the entire world, and Gear 5 gives him the means to act on it. In Elbaf, this will be pushed to the limit because the giants represent pride, honor, and raw strength values that become twisted when someone messes with their minds. On top of that, this ability opens the door to hilarious and epic interactions with the setting. Luffy talking to an ancient tree that insists on speaking way too slowly, or asking the wind to hurry up and bring news faster, while Zoro grumbles that his captain is losing it, and Nami demands he focus on the fight. Usopp, who has always dreamed of Elbaf, would completely lose it watching his captain become friends with entire forests. And the giants themselves, seeing a tiny human understand the language of the land better than many of them, would gain even more respect for the future Pirate King. Comparing him to Roger one more time, Roger was legendary, conquered the seas, reached Laugh Tale, but relied on interpreters like Odin to fully decipher everything. Luffy is heading toward doing it all on his own, without needing anyone to translate, because his connection to the world is more direct and more pure. That reinforces the idea that he isn't just a successor. He's someone who will surpass his predecessor in certain aspects, exactly the way Oda loves to show with each new generation. In the end, this new level of HAKI and the voice of all things transforms Luffy from an unpredictable fighter into a leader who literally feels the pulse of the planet. He is not just going to punch villains, he is going to break the chains they placed on everyone, one by one, laughing the whole way. Elbaf will be the stage where this transformation becomes crystal clear, setting the groundwork for the final confrontation against those who want to keep the world enslaved. And we, watching from the outside, can only count the days until the next chapter to see if all this madness is confirmed in the most epic way possible. Stay tuned, because One Piece is entering its final stretch and the level is rising faster than a rocket. Until the next theory, everyone. And the craziest part is that this absurd level of perception will not be used just for Luffy to spy on the world like some living human radar. It completely changes the way he fights and leads the Straw Hats in Elbaf. Now, the captain no longer needs to rely only on sight or raw instinct. He has the entire planet whispering tips in his ear at all times, turning every battle into a dance where he already knows his opponent's steps before the other guy even thinks about throwing the first punch. Imagine the delicious chaos of a fight against a giant warrior who thinks he has the advantage because he knows every inch of the island, only to realize that Luffy is listening to the tree roots telling him exactly where the big guy is going to step next, or the wind warning him about an ambush coming from behind. That lets the rubber body twist and counterattack with a level of precision that leaves everyone stunned. This deep connection with the environment explains why Oda chose Elbaf right after Egghead. It is not just to give us a breather with drunken Vikings and epic feasts, it is to force Luffy to dive headfirst into this mystical side that has always been there, but still felt raw. The giants have lived in harmony with nature for generations. They respect trees older than entire nations and tell stories about the sun and freedom as if they were a religion. So it makes perfect sense that the new Nika would learn from them how to tune this spiritual frequency until he becomes a true conductor. Dory and Brogy already showed that their HAKI is pure brute power, but Luffy arrives bringing finesse, turning strength into art, and that will inspire even the oldest warriors to look at the Straw Hat Kid as someone who understands the soul of the island better than many natives. Now think about the tactical impact of all this during a large-scale war, because Elbaf is not going to be just a pretty exploration arc. The manga is practically screaming that there will be heavy conflict involving the world government or forces directly tied to Imu. If the enemy tries to use that kind of dark domination to turn the giants against the Straw Hats transforming proud heroes into mindless engines of destruction, Luffy will not need to chase each one down and beat them awake. He will feel the corruption spreading like a black stain across his mental map and head straight for the source. With the voice of all things at its maximum level, he can locate the core of that influence from afar, arrive laughing, activate Gear 5, and start spreading that energy of freedom that melts mind control like the sun melting ice. When the time comes for the direct confrontation with whoever is behind everything, probably near the end of the saga, this evolution will be the wild card no one saw coming. The enemy may have ancient weapons, fake immortality, and entire armies, but there is no way to fight someone who hears every plan being made in secret rooms on the other side of the world and is already laughing because he knows exactly how to dismantle it all. Luffy will not need to storm Mary Joy's screaming at the top of his lungs. He will arrive already knowing where every hostage is being held, where every weakness is hidden, and he will free everyone before the main battle even begins. Because for him, freedom does not wait its turn. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.